I'm 28 male, and my girlfriend of 4 years have been living together for past year and a half. We've been together through thick and thin, ups, downs, and everything in between. We don't have kids, but we talked about a future together, marriage, retirement, etc. in detail. A couple years ago, she became friends with a guy at work. I didn't think much of it at first. She'd mention him in passing, some funny thing he said or how they got along. But over time, I noticed she talked about him more and more. One day, I got this feeling in my gut. I checked her phone, and while I didn't find anything explicit, their messages were flirty in a way that made me uncomfortable. I brought it up. Maybe not in the best way, but I asked her to set some boundaries. She said she would, told me I was overreacting, but promised to keep their conversation strictly professional. Fast forward to last week. I noticed her phone lighten up with a message from him. I asked her about it, and she brushed it off, saying it was about work. Then she admitted he'd called her earlier but deleted the call log so I wouldn't get upset over nothing. That didn't sound all right to me. Friday evening, I couldn't shake the feeling something was wrong, so I checked our phone records. For at least the past year, they've been talking constantly and sent endless number of texts. She'd talk to him right after hanging up with me, spend her whole day chatting with him, and then delete everything before coming home. She swears it wasn't physical and says it's just harmless conversations, but how do you hide something harmless for a year? All the attention I wanted from her, the connection I thought we had, she was given to him. Even if it wasn't physical, it's a complete betrayal, and she chose to invest in him instead of us. I feel lost, like everything I believed our relationship was a lie. What do I do now? How do I even begin to move forward when the trust is completely gone? I'd appreciate any advice. I'm at a total loss. Update. My girlfriend, now ex, had at least an emotional affair with a man she met at work. After I confronted, she seemed remorseful. She apologized daily, said all the right things, and promised to work on herself. She even scheduled therapy sessions for us to heal. But the more days passed, the more I realized how toxic everything had become and how much of myself I'd lost in this relationship. I realized our relationship was anything but healthy. The gaslighting, the silent treatment, the constant push and pull. Even before her affair came to light, she'd love bomb me one day, promising to change, and then the next, she'd stonewall me when I tried to communicate about my feelings. It felt like I was going crazy trying to figure out who she really was. The person who claimed to love me, or the one who constantly manipulated and berated me. In the years I was with her, my mental and physical health completely deteriorated. I went from being a healthy, confident person to someone who barely recognized himself. I developed anxiety, had panic attacks, lost sleep, and felt like a shell of who I used to be. I finally decided enough was enough and ended things. She's still in denial, crying and claiming she'll change. But I don't care anymore. I know this is the right decision. My heart is broken, and I'm grieving the future I thought we had. It's hard, but I'm eating better, sleeping more, and reconnecting with friends and family. For the first time in years, I feel like I can breathe. Story 2. Girlfriend cheated on me a few weeks ago and I hooked up with a girl yesterday. Don't know what to do now. So I posted my situation here last week, but pretty much the situation was that my girlfriend of 3 years kissed a guy while drunk at a party. The dude is a douche who I've been worried about in the past because of how sketchy she's acted around him. I saw her trying to call him and I called her out. Her friend also confronted her before she kissed him. She also said she was bored with the relationship earlier in the week, even though the reason is because she doesn't do anything in our relationship, really. I feel like she doesn't care most of the time because she acts selfishly a lot. Well, anyway, it really hurt, and I don't know if I could trust her again and have mixed feelings of wanting to take her back. But my heart says yes, take her back. She's a sweet girl who isn't like most basic white chicks, and I liked her because there was no drama or games. I want her back because I like having a girlfriend and she was nice to me, and I don't want to abandon what we have. I tried to work on stuff and asked her to work on stuff too, but this past week when we were seeing each other, it felt like things were going back to normal. She really seems like she wants to change and fix things, which gives me a great outlook for the future. I think I envision an amazing future with her if she changes. Less selfish, caring for me more, listening to me, respect me. But I think that's the only reason I want to stay, for what that could be. and it'll take a lot of work on both ends, and I'm not sure it's worth it. So I told her we should take a break for a month, but I don't think I made it really clear. She kept texting me after I told her about the break. She also wanted to have an exclusive break, but I said I think it'd be better to be able to hook up with people. Selfish on my part, I think. When I told her this, she said if either hooks up with anyone, might as well just end it. But then she said I would understand if I hooked up with someone because of what she did to me. So I guess she just assumed that we were doing an exclusive break and I didn't make it clear enough, which I regret. And she assumed that the break wouldn't start yet, for some reason. 2 days after, I ended up getting drunk and hooking up with a girl. I don't know how I feel about it really. It was okay, but I can have sex with my girlfriend anytime, so sex is not that important to me. I did it, I think, because I sort of wanted revenge and haven't been with another girl for 3 years. I've only been with my girlfriend in college, so I wanted to see what it was like. I honestly don't feel as bad that she cheated on me now since I did it too, which might make it easier for me to forgive her. I also realized hooking up with people is not all it's cranked up to be, which is what she learned, I'm sure, from cheating on me. Now that I've done this, is there too much damage to go back? I want to see how much she improves and works on herself this month, but if I was willing to do this so quickly, is it worth it? I think this just made the situation messier because I still don't know what I want. I also don't know if I should tell her or not. Would it actually make her respect me, knowing I could do better? But if I wanted to continue the relationship, would I have to tell her? It might also destroy her, but she did the same to me. I need to see her today, tomorrow, to give her some stuff back, so deciding now. It's probably hard to give advice on this, but anything will help. Thanks, guys. Here's the thing. Trust is completely shot on both sides, and it sounds like you're trying to figure out if this is even salvageable. She kissed another dude after acting shady around him for a while. And then you turned around and hooked up with someone else during your break, which, let's be honest, wasn't clearly defined. Now you're stuck in this messy limbo of should I stay or should I go? The big question, do you want her back for who she is right now or for who you hope she'll become? From what you're saying, she's being selfish and not pulling her weight in the relationship. And now she's suddenly promising to change. That's great in theory, but change doesn't happen overnight, and you can't bank on potential alone. As for your hookup, it seems like it was more about revenge and curiosity than anything meaningful. You wanted to see what it was like after 3 years with her, and now you know it wasn't all that. Does that mean you're even? Or does it just show that maybe neither of you is really committed to fixing this? If you want to move forward with her, you'll have to come clean about it. But let's be real. It's gonna hurt her and probably make things worse. At the end of the day, ask yourself if this relationship is actually worth the effort. If trust is gone and it feels like more work than it's worth, maybe it's time to cut your losses. Use the break to figure out what you really want. And don't just stay because it's familiar or you're scared to start over. Sometimes letting go is the best move. Now some comments. So, wait, she kissed a guy, so you fucked a girl? Are you talking about what she needs to change to fix the relationship? Really? What about you? You admit to doing it to hurt her back. You don't feel any remorse? And you're trying to decide if you should manipulate her by withholding the truth? You should tell her exactly what you told the internet, and then you should let her decide, based on the whole truth of your real feelings. What you don't know is that she was getting pounded by Tyrone during that break. How do you feel?